All right, family. All right. All right. Oh boy, y'all strapping for a good one today. Hopefully this one, man. I got a lot on my heart, man. I've been watching a lot. I've been seeing a lot. I've been hearing a lot, right? Therefore, we have a conversation. Family, welcome in us who are almost 1,300 plus strong, who believe in, who love after, who hold on to. Like the great R&B song says, man, you got to hold on to your love. The Bible tells you to hold fast, man. There's something that we are missing, family, right? Some of us are getting it. Some of us are not, right? Who hold fast to, who believe in, who are sure of, who know. This idea where we don't know nothing and you can't find out nothing, you know, nah, I know. Same thing about your salvation as Christians, man. I know the thing. Right? We know, we love, and enjoy. We have fun with family, life, even as we're going to talk today, this is why I have pauses between episodes. Because, see, we talking foolishness, family. We talking about people operating in stupidity. Let me rephrase with stupidity. Ignorance. We operating with people dealing at high levels of ignorance, man. We just don't know. And that's a lot for a lot of us, right? We don't know. That's what the word ignorant means. Don't you get upset with the garbage and the crap. We're going to have a very pointed conversation today. Don't you get pissed off at the crap massa put down your throat, then flip it on what words actually are. There's two totally different things, family, right? We're ignorant out here. We need to embrace the truth of a thing. Right. So for those who love and enjoy, we need to love and enjoy because this life is full of too much negativity. Right. Just as much as there's a whole lot of. I heard it said on a podcast, reminded me of a phrase, right, that our big mamas and our mamas, right, our elders use, man, a whole heap of. There's a whole heap of positivity out there as well, family. Right. Who hunger and thirst, seek and search for that which is a different view. Family, welcome in. Today's topic, again, we can continue. We're going to continue down the road of some things that we spoke on last time. Again, around the word accountability. Okay, because these are some of the things that are missing. We've heard and seen some fairly powerful videos, some people making content out here, putting it out here. This is what it's all about, family. Whether people listen, don't listen, it's about putting the word, get the word out there, right? And people will come. You understand that people will come. We don't even worry about that, right? Christ didn't worry about that. It was about getting the message out there. I didn't come to heal. Hey, yeah. I didn't come. I don't know where the preacher went, family. I don't know. I'm still trying to, probably should stop, right? I'm still trying to figure out where the preacher went. I know we are good agents of mass out here. I know you got to keep the people docile. I know. While they try to remove cannabis and drinking off of, especially when you go back into the prohibitionist era and all that kind of thing, man. Like you're trying to get rid of the stuff that Massa put there to keep people docile while he's screwing them every day. You may want to be careful on doing that. You might want to keep us as docile as possible, family. I'm just saying, again, accountability is one thing we understand, but this uproar we get into over this cannabis usage, family, is for the bird. We've gone over this topic before on the podcast, which is why I haven't mentioned it lately, because it's a moot point. You either do or you don't, right? You either do or you don't. We don't have to set up legislation and all this weird stuff. Just because y'all don't want to smell ganja smoke, man, I don't know what to tell you. There's a whole lot of stuff we got to put up. See, this is the part where people get a little, and this is where we're just going to hop in, right? Again, we're talking accountability. This is the part where people go a little sideways, right? They want the ability to beat their wife without you telling them to stop. Or vice versa. But we know the percentage is higher for the men than the women. And in classic fashion, your boy did not mute the sound. My apologies, family. Jeez, I gotta remember. I gotta get into it. That's cool. It's year 3. We got a long time, man. This is until the wheels fall off. So we got a long time to perfect a whole lot of things, right? So y'all strap in for the fun that is to come, right? Yeah, you're okay beating your wife, kicking the kid, kicking the dog, right? But nobody telling you you're wrong. This is the kind of reality that we have made. Let's not do this thing. That's just the way it is. Nah. This ain't the way it is. It's the way we're allowing it to be. Again, those men who honor and cherish women got to stand up. All right? Well, that mess don't fly over here. Where'd you go? Did you go into hiding in the cave somewhere? Family, we're talking about what it is. You know, when they talk about this "Make America Great Again," what do you think some of the things that made it great? See, I know they're twisted. See, Massa always twists the truth, but we're talking about what made America great, family. What made America great? When people groups were living on these lands unabated by the European, that was great. Again, men and women stood up for principles of right and wrong in an attitude of freedom. That's what made America great. You know, it didn't when the European came here, bringing their mess, their sicknesses, their diseases, their economy, all that mess. They brought it here and set up shop over the top of people already living here. Yeah, that's when it wasn't great. When you had the slaves on the plantation, pulling people groups from all over the place to work on that same slave plantation all over this nation. That's when it wasn't great. When the economy was only going toward one group of people and not the ones that was helping them work for, come on, somebody. That's when it wasn't great. It was great for somebody else. That group, their friends, the land rush folks. That's what it was good for. That's what it was great for. We'll let Snoopy play here a second. Let your boy collect his thoughts here. This nation was not great during the time of patent stealing and restricting black folks' movement. People, as they call it, of colors movement. Because again, the same thing happening to the black person was happening to our Latino brothers and sisters, our Asian brothers and sisters who were brought here or who sailed here, either or. Right? We're going to have to get over some things, family. We're going to have to get over some things. We had talked about this last time with this intercultural thing, right? There's no more time for that. The man is who set up the parameters of who is, quote unquote, so-called white or non-white. But in reality, the maker made us all as people groups, different people groups. Listen to what I'm saying. Different people groups, all equally having respect in their part of the world, whether shared together or not. So when you see one of them marrying the other one, you don't stop loving them. That don't make no sense. That's the time to continue loving them, right? Or is it not? Number one, we want to, let's keep it light, right? Let's keep it a different view light, right? Shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder for winning the NBA championship, right? Yay! If we had a little sound thing right there. Yay! Right? Small market. We could make the joke that the Seattle Supersonics finally won the NBA championship, but I digress, family, right? This is a basketball fan talking here, and we've been around for a minute. So we've seen a lot. You know, I was watching a deal here from Ariel Spears, I believe, talking about the idea, just to have some basketball talk, talking about the idea of these players. Just to put this out there for comment sake. Again, let's be respectful in the comments. The old school basketball players couldn't play in today's league. Family, that's a farce. I don't know what to tell you. I understand we like to hold on to, again, like many things, like on the plantation, we like to hold on to certain things here, family, but that ain't what it is. Mike and the gang would have rocked them. Are you kidding me? Dominique Wilkins, George Gervin, Iceman. We already seen the impact of David Robinson because he played up into the 2000s, family. Still doing this thing. Come on. Everything is so bigger, faster, stronger, family. He was doing all right. Tim Duncan's younger, right? Hakeem Olajuwon, he'd have been all right. You've seen him playing. Come on. Shaquille O'Neal. You watched it with, again, Kobe is young. Let's go back further here. Deadlift Shrimp, right? Since we're talking about the Seattle Supersonics. Gary Payton. Sean Kemp. Right? Again, you've seen Dennis Rodman play from in the 80s into the 90s. So, still effective, still pulling down rebounds. We know he didn't score, but he made a defensive difference. See, a lot of things that's missing in the league is everything is offensive now. That's why you had half them games was like 100, 101, all that, come on. Actually it was funny. Some of those games in the finals was, like 100 to 90 something or 100 something to 90 something. Right? We fall for the okie doke family, okay? Don't you think Larry Bird, Dominique Wilkins, all right? Patrick Ewing. Again, Patrick played until a certain part. Of course, his knees gave him issues. We all seen that, okay? Dikembe Mutombo, right? Why do y'all think Allen Iverson? Again, now he played up into the 2000s, so it's a little bit start off in the 98. Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson. Why do you think the stars of the game then couldn't play now? That makes no sense. But anyway, and they would have dominated just as much, if not more, in this league with the lack of physicality. Oh yeah. Where they stayed on the court, they didn't get hurt. They played 20 some odd years or 15 years and all this kind of, they just played straight through. The records they set that everybody's chasing now breaking, they would have blown them out of the water in this type of league. We're just saying. Again, we're good on not giving credit to where credit's due. We're not taking away from the youth and what they're doing right now, okay? But this kind of idea where we won't set them up above, be careful on that, okay? You're not giving credit to history. Just like we fall for Masters okie doke and we don't give credit to history, we keep trying to discredit it. It ain't 1864 no more, KJ. This is 2025. What's making you think there's any difference? What, because the laws are different? We're not riding around in horses and buggies and stuff? Come on, y'all. Anyway. Ironheart. That's the next place. That's the next topic we're going to hit. For folks who have a problem with this, of course, rated on Rotten Tomatoes, it's at 70%. Anytime you got, shout out to the black woman one time. Again, if we had a noise of, yay, right? Shout out to the black woman one time. Somebody, black women in these inner cities who keep losing their kids to stupid gun violence that we're going to talk about here, dealing with Tulsa. Okay, Tulsa, Oklahoma, family. We got to understand the thing. Okay, before you get up in arms, and we may swing back around to the other side of the world over in good old New York, because for some odd reason people are having a problem with your first mayoral candidate who is Muslim. We have a problem, so we're gonna have a conversation, right? And then we go on about our way. Ironheart family, again, these first 3 episodes, there'll be more that are going to be released in July. Again, whenever a black woman is at, what's that movie with Kiki Shepard and SZA? Man, I forgot what that thing is. It was at the blood donor bank, and everything was funny and stuff like that. It was a very good movie. Just One of Them Days, I think, or One of Them Days, something like that. Right? Matter of fact, we're here. We're not on location. I'm right in front of my computer, so why would I? See, family, this is what we're talking about, right? When you don't realize something, Kiki Shepard, Kiki Palmer, excuse me, sis. Forgive me, man. Forgive me, y'all, man. One of them days, not Kiki Shepard. That's Sherry Shepard. Anyway. Understand when a black woman is at work. Now this movie got a 94, right? Okay. Same kind of jokes, and it had the comedy and the whole nine, right? Now the same kind of thing. Of course, the other sister, other than Dominique Thorne, in Ironheart is the young girl who becomes older in the TV show This Is Us, right? Man, I forgot her name. Let me see if I can find it real quick for y'all, just so we have a point of reference. Daisha. It was the girl named Daisha, right? Some of y'all were probably shouting it from your car or wherever you're listening to, right, while I'm saying it. So Daisha is in the TV show Ironheart, and again, does a very thought-provoking role in this as well, okay? You have to understand, family, that when it comes to black love, man, that thing is always, it's been looked down upon purposefully. Why? Because it's the way Master set it up. You living inside his code of reality. This is what they've set up, family. Not what is, what they set up. Two different things. Y'all can look at this as spooky as however you want to. This is just the reality. Okay? Black love is just as important as Asian, just as important as Indian, Native, Australian, Russian, Siberian, European, Native American. Since we talk in Pride Month, right? We're just going to use a phrase here that is used in the homosexual community, but it's still the truth regardless. Love is love, family. When did you start making distinctions for that? We know Master started making distinctions for it in that Willie Lynch letter we read to y'all a little while ago. We know that they discredit. That's not a real letter. But you can see it. You see people playing around with ageism. Listen to the elder. We're gonna read you some more truth. We're gonna read you some more truth, man. The world is full of, listen, this planet is full of this truth because it's been put down here by the Maker. God alone. Right? Ironheart doing just fine, family. I don't know how to help folks. I can understand if you had issues with like the hood, maybe certain contextual storytelling things here and there, which is just an issue across the MCU. But as far as showing of itself, doing fine. Black love. Shout out Chi-Town one time, man. Chicago, Blacktown, like many of these inner cities, run by black folk. Or native folk, and overrun by the European. But I digress. And people have a problem with it. We say, no. God sees no color, KJ. I don't have it. Yeah, we know. We done heard it already. Okay. Another thing here, just talking about different things, art and all this kinds of stuff. Y'all seen this thing with Ketel Marte, right? Shout out to your brother. Right, plays on the Arizona Diamondbacks, man. Again, another one of these dudes, long time ball player playing on one team. You very rarely see that anymore because of the mess that is free agency. We have made a mess of player loyalty, but I digress, right? This is another topic that your boy could have, talking about sports again. And speaking on sports, family, there's really not much to talk on. Because, again, this is Master's thing, and they are making... Do you know who won during the NBA Finals? You think it was the Oklahoma City Thunder. It was the NBA. It was the owners. The players got a little cut. The owners made the much... Never mind. Dominican brother, by the way. Shout out to the Dominican Republic one time, man. You go back into the history of the Dominican Republic and then come back and talk to me. Hispaniola, right? Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Let's just, take a pivot talking on Ketel Marte, where he come from, right? What is Hispaniola, family? Do you know? Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Why do you think they got their name? Who called them that? Do you think it was the people that was there? When you do a basic search, family, a basic one. At the time of the European arrival of Christopher Columbus, Hispaniola was home to the Kiewo, and I might be saying this wrong. Kiewo. This thing, thank for the computer just doing that right there. The Maorix and the Taino native peoples. That's interesting. The Taino, right? We talk about that with Mexico, don't we? Not Mexico, Puerto Rico, don't we? Excuse me, Borican. Never mind. Right. Again, use the names. Use the names before the. Listen, I know we like doing this. This isn't 19 blah 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 anymore. This is 2025. Listen, when the conqueror came, excuse me, the colonizer came. When the invader came, they took all that away and then gave them new names. So if you want to do proper respect to them, family, you got to do your best study to go find out what their names were and start calling them that. Little Spain. Little Spain. The Americas got none a damn thing to do with Spain. So how did that work? Oh, because when the Spanish came calling and they took the lands over, that's what they named it. Got you. Now we get it. Again, basic study. You ain't got to go deep. The Spanish controlled the entire island of Hispaniola from 1492 until the 17th century. Hispaniola is the site of the first European fort in the Americas, La Navidad. We just said, family, we just listen. All of these things have references and books that you can study from, family, that you can look up. This is no conjecture. This was you reading Takeover, that they made it kind of cutesy tootsy for you to shout out to Caribbean Heritage Month one time. We're just talking right now about the Caribbean. The Arawak people of Haiti, right? And we just read off to you all the different names of the folks that were over in Hispaniola. Just speaking about the DR, right? Dominican, where this brother, Ketel Marte, is from. On the Diamondbacks, who has spent a good portion of his career with the Diamondbacks. I mean, as far as we know, right? From 2017 to the present. What are we in now, family? 2025? Some fool-headed fans decided to go make fun of this. Now, I get it. As a Yankee fan, y'all, we get it, right? We from the boogie down, right? We get it, okay? Brooklyn, the five boroughs, right? We understand, okay, about making fun of each other. Is there a line we don't? This is the same kind of conversation we had with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Is there a line we don't cross, family? What part of the seat of the scornful have we been so corrupted by now that nothing is sacred? When you heckle this dude, you heckle him about his dead mama. Whew, Jesus. I heard it said, listen to some teachings and stuff. There ain't nothing quicker to get you in a good fight, especially around black folks, than you talking about their mama. Which means, brothers, you gonna have to be okay with somebody talking that mess about your mama, because they know they get you in a fight where even if you whoop that ass, your ass is probably catching a lawsuit, going to jail, so on and so forth. Now, unless you got no money to bail you out. And all the rest that'll be on your name as a result of fighting them back, there may be some licks you're going to have to take higher ground, as Stevie Wonder made that song. Maybe some higher ground, family. They know this. That don't mean you an angry people. That means the bully has a very sick mind. And in the face of torment and death, you have to rise higher. That's the point. You gonna sit here and talk trash about this man's dead mama, and thankfully the league has some sense, and they banned that fan or fans or whatever from the article I saw for life. Y'all don't need to be going. Listen, if you okay with Pete Rose, thankfully y'all introduced Pete Rose back in the game. The game is slighted, family. Can we have this conversation about sports? The game is so, and I may have talked about it before. The game is so slighted that you would rather put steroid use in the Hall of Fame first before gambling. And you know that financially the game has been corrupted to not benefit the player. Yeah, we see they millions of dollars. We get it. It's to benefit the owners. Oh, it's a capitalist world, Cage. Again, when did just because something's capitalist turn into corruption is okay? Again, and then subverting the rules of justice. If you're going to keep out Pete Rose, then Barry Bonds shouldn't have got in. I know we have these conversations. We've been having these. It's an older one, but we've been had this conversation. I didn't have a podcast back then, but we talking it now. So you're okay with Barry Bonds? You're okay with Roger Clemens? We know as Yankee fans, Andy Pettitte got his name up and involved with that mess with Roger Clemens. Good old Alex Rodriguez. But you know why? You did all that mess for money. Now check this out. You can put all those steroid folks in the Hall of Fame, but you leave out Pete Rose. You either keep them all out or you put them all in. Let's stop making these distinctions like one is worse than the other. Again, it is the league that wins every time somebody wins that World Series. That's just the way it's set up. So don't get mad now that somebody was betting you against your system. This is the issue with DraftKings and FanDuel and every one of the other spinoffs from there. Okay? How you use your money is how you use your money. It's your choice. Like with every other ability we've been given. However, we have to use it responsibly. Again, if the MLB and their owners and blah, 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 blah were so on their high horse, so on their high horse, then you keep out the steroid era the same way you did Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, and the rest of the gang. I digress. Same kind of mess, again, that we're going to continue on with this whole idea of WWE. Sports entertainment. Because there is a high difference between professional wrestling and sports entertainment. Shout out to Chris Jericho for doing that whole storyline on AEW about with him in the inner circle and then making a joke on professional wrestling and sports entertainment. Because them professional wrestlers out there trying to make that bank. They on the indie scene, they trying to do this thing. Do you know whose family would just walk in this road with sports here for a minute? Because again, art, which is what sports is, it is an art. It imitates life. I know we go to the ball games and we grab a beer, hot dog, lemonade, ice cream, whatever it is to kind of escape. Same thing we do in the movies, all this this is why people have a problem with Ironheart. Family, this is what it is. You with Ironheart, you're starting to see the new series of comic book movies and TV shows like there were the new series of comic books when Ironheart came out back in the day. Do you know people had the same issues then? Or at least some of them did. Like you do see now on the mainstream. And you're going to continue to see it. When they introduced Wiccan and Hulkling, everybody got up in arms over that because no homosexuals over here. But guess what? You're going to have to get okay with the fact that that is there. And if you don't like it, so be it. You ain't got to like it. Nobody asking you to. Nobody asking you to serve folks. Neither. Same thing with the Negro. And whoever else you want to put in there. However, there is a place where we all can go. See, this is where you see the foolishness in people. There's still a place where we all can go, where we can have good service, have a good time, and go on back to our lives and work at jobs and all that kind of stuff. Now, you can use the Bible to X all that out. See, again, for our black preachers, they use the same Bible to X you out too. You're supposed to be cursed. See, we stop playing this game like we don't know that. You supposed to be cursed. You supposed to be on that plantation with Master. You ain't supposed to say a damn word. That go for your brown and tan skin tone brother and sister. That goes for the homosexual. That go for the woman. You supposed to be there at that man's footstool. Not the fact that you're there to help him. See, that's what the Bible told you. It's not good for man, right? We won't be on this man thing. It's not good for man to be alone. You need that woman to help you. These are all these kinds of things in Ironheart that folks gonna have a problem with. You got a female at the forefront, a young black woman at the forefront. Don't nobody want to see that. With Tony Stark technology, oh hell yeah, don't nobody want to see that. You forget about the fact that Tony Stark was a drunkard, had high issues, high issues with his ego. Again, we have studied the word ego, so we know here on this podcast, ego is a thing that everybody has, yet you go too far with a thing. Right? You're supposed to feel good about yourself. There's a difference between that and being haughty, right? Or being operating in vainglory, or being a person who is vain. There's a difference with that, right? Again, we talking about the definitions of words and phrases. We ain't playing. We talking how Master taught us to talk. We're looking at the words, family. You gotta stop all this spookity, ookity, weird mess we're doing and start boiling things down to base principles of life, y'all. And that comes to this. This is gonna bring me here to this topic now about this brother here in New York. Because we have to, again, we have already had this conversation. Excuse the beeping in the background. That's just my computer. Let me look up this. You know, we done seen some things on Facebook. People believe that the world gonna come to an end now. Because, oh man, this mayor candidate or possible mayoral candidate, right? Zohran Mamdani. Okay. Again, nobody should be stunned over the fact that dude beat out Andrew Cuomo. These people, Mr. Bloomberg, Mr. Cuomo, right? Mr. Koch from back in the day. We're talking the blood suckers and leeches of life. We already know. All right. We already know. We give no place to these people. That would be the same thing, though, for every culture. So now something had come up on my page, right? And we're not going to go into all of them for time's sake because we're already 32 minutes in. We're going to wrap this thing up here in the next, probably give your boy another 10 minutes, right? Just to finish cooking. Family, it's a problem with the man, just like with Hillary, just like with Ms. Harris, okay? Kamala Harris, right? Folks kind of gag as they say in her name. This thing is built off the haves and have-nots, and the haves will always be under master system, those who are so-called white. The non-whites are their servants, family. That's how it works. Capitalism is the thing of the so-called white person, white man, if you want to say. Communism is not. So it's looked down upon, not because it is wrong. It in and of itself is a socioeconomic thought. Again, we've already had this conversation on podcast, but we'll bring it up. Repetition is necessary for learning. Ain't a damn thing wrong with capitalism, communism, socialism. Nothing wrong with these things. Do you know what is, though? Again, we talking definition. Capitalism deals with the boss earns the profit. That's fine. That's your business. You ought to earn from it. Communism is where it is shared. The worker benefits from the workers working. That's fine. You should benefit from the energies you put in your job. Socialism deals in a similar mindset. Let's stop going haywire here, y'all. The problem you need to have is with the people, with the policies, with the values of each group. In this case, we break it down to two parties, which are definitely having a party at each one's expense, whether you speak Democratic or Republican. Both words deal with everything by, through, and for the people. Again, you can just look clear as day with your own two eyes. Without people, you would have no government. government, because what is you governing over? The air, trees, maybe the dogs and cats, who, by the way, have their own law. That's why when you talk about things legal, there was already a law here on this planet set out by the maker, but massa decided to walk over it. In doing so, listen, where is the preacher at? Y'all talk so much spiritual and God's judgment, and yet you walk right past this because you don't want massa throwing you in the gladiator arena. You love this world more than you do the one who made it. So you don't say certain things. They come across your mind. Oh, sure they do. We know they do. Whatever's done in secret come out in the open. We know it. Peter already said it about, we're just going here for a minute, family. So just walk with me. Peter already said this about Paul. In things he had to say that was hard for him to understand, but he knows about it at the point that he had said he was sorry. Basically was how he was saying he was sorry without actually saying he was sorry. He knows. He knew then what was being talked about back then. Right? Because it was a present conversation about something that happened in the past. Peter knew back then he didn't want to admit to it because he was bold. He was bullheaded. Okay, that's just how Saint Peter was. It's cool. Everybody has a different type of personality. Jesus knows that. That's why he didn't kick out Peter. Talking about this last time with the Adam and Eve sinning. You don't see God obliterating Adam and Eve for that, do you? Covering made for them because of their nudity, even though their nudity was not something to be covered. We'll leave it alone. We'll just leave that topic alone. Y'all figure it out. It's not being arrogant or nothing. We're just saying, like, after a while, you get really, 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 really tired of hearing the kind of low droning, the low vibration, family. You up higher than that. Your nudity is not something to look down upon. But like I said, I digress. Some folks just don't want to see folks nude. That's why you cover. That's not because you are obscene. They see it as obscene. There's a difference. God made covering for them. Is there anything that we can do in life today, family, where we have a level of covering for us? See, your Bible says that you should bear one another's burdens. Can we do it, family? Can you do it? In all its forms. Let's stop boiling it down to spiritual stuff. Because it ain't just spiritual stuff, right? This mayoral candidate, family, ain't no different than any other candidate who come up. I know we want to hold on to this. Oh, he about to bring all family since the European came to these lands and made this thing the way it is. They've been bringing different levels of death from the jump, whether you're talking George Washington or, again, as you look in history, some folks before that they show that were leading this nation. Okay? Because, again, they've been posted up since 1619, right? Again, technically 1492, right? From George Washington, we'll just use that as a reference that everybody knows, all the way up through till now. The idea has been to screw you. Plain and simple. They give you a little bit. They give you a little bit. You got your Social Security there, but they're trying to take that on the back end. You get your affirmative action over here, but they took that away on the back end. Right? You get your ability to vote, but we ain't going to give you nobody really to vote for on the back end. And again, like we've said, whenever you see our dark brown and tan skin tone brother and sister at the forefront of master system, they're just the face. The one making and doing the moving and the shaking is in the back. And you can bet your ass that it is the so-called white person or people groups who will believe in a system that has been set up by the colonizer. That's how it works. Okay. We have tricked ourselves to believe in all types of stuff. and we lead ourselves down a path that is most disturbing. At the end, here's what we're going to end now with Tulsa. So when you look up online, right? I'm not going to get into the articles, but you can look them up. A lot of them are on news6.com, which is Tulsa, Oklahoma's web provider, news provider, so on and so forth, right? They got different ones. We like to go to News 6. Okay. We could talk about the one that was on K4 Tulsa back in May, where these federal agents break into a person's house that they mistakenly identified as some immigrants, took all their stuff. That's another article you could look up, but we're not gonna go there with that one. Again, K4 Tulsa. Family's house is that's how you want to type it. Family's house is broken into, right? Or invaded, whatever, raided by those who mistakenly identified them as immigrants, but they were not. Hopefully that family is restituted. Family. Anybody in the comments, shout out, let your boy know, because I just don't know yet. That's something that just came across my feed as of today, which blew my mind. In Tulsa now, you got more police, family. They just passed it, right? We talked about last time how all these fools are shooting folks, killed a brother under overpass. My wife and I, we walked under that overpass. Shout out to you, honey. Right? So now, 17, I want to say it's either 18 and under or 17 and under, right? You're not allowed over in downtown Tulsa. I believe it's either 8 or 9 p.m. Family, we got to understand there's a lot of poison and rust, as has been said in different circles, on the minds, and I may have misquoted who said it, whether it was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. So my apologies. But again, the idea is that there is a lot of poison and rust in the minds, not only of the black man, okay, or black woman, but many people groups on this planet. You have to identify and stay away from foolishness, because it's only there to kill you. Again, the wages of sin is what? What you get paid for missing it, family, is what? Death. That's it. Cessation of life, however Christians and folks want to break it down. Death. That's all you get. So thank the police. Shout out to the Tulsa police, man. Again, we put more on their plate now, right? Not less. Because, see, the gang members or whoever is involved in shooting folks during a honorable and blessed Juneteenth event decided to go shooting folks instead of protecting their people and joining forces with the police. You see what I'm saying about these gangs? And following in after some mess that was left to them by Italians and Russians, right? Irish folks got involved with this gang activity back in the day, but they don't do that. I wonder why, family. There's no future in that. Why the hell would I want to get wealth by getting involved in something where I die young with no wealth? That don't make sense. Legal systems set up to keep you in jail for operating in that mess. Anyway. Let's read you some stuff here and we're going to go. Again, if you are mad at the fact that more police presence is in a place, family, no matter where you are on the planet, start acting right. Encourage each other to act right. Men in these communities, I understand you don't want to be, you think that woman's so shiftless. Again, we just finished talking about this with Ironheart, and too many black men keep blaming the black woman for things instead of us taking responsibility. This also goes to men in general toward women following in the path of Adam during the fall of the Garden of Eden, the fall of humans in the Garden of Eden. This ain't blaming God for that woman. This is taking responsibility for yourself, right? And for her as part of your team. And handling that situation as best and wholesome as possible, whether therapy is needed or not, and you go from there. This blame game has done nothing but lead to division, destruction, and death. Where do we start? Where do we start? Do not quarrel with a powerful man. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 8, verse 1. Do not quarrel with a powerful man, or you may fall into his hands. Do not contend with a rich man, or he may outweigh you. We picking wrong fights, family. Again, we wrestle not, right? We wrestle not against flesh and blood. Okay. Gold. Now, in the book of the Wisdom of Sirach here, gold, right? We know it's the love of money. It's not the gold. It's the fact that people put that over people. That's because they love it more than the people. That's the problem. The love of money, not money. Gold has been the destruction of many, which has been true. Because again, you replace it over the things that will help you not be destroyed. And perverted the minds of kings. We just had a no kings protest, didn't we? So now you can see how the mind has been perverted. Never mind. Let's see, we'll go down to verse 4. Do not make sport of an uneducated man, or you may dishonor your own forefathers. Like we have said, family, everybody don't know it all. So why would you make fun of somebody who don't know it? That says uneducated. Just don't know. Like the word ignorant. You don't know. It's time to know something, yo. I'm not okay. I can't speak for nobody else, but I'm not okay living and dying, family. I'm not okay living and dying. Not knowing a thing. Like I said, I don't know. Like talking like these preachers, man. I don't know about no one else. I'm trying to figure out where people are coming from a thing, on a thing, because this is no. I'm just pulling up something here, see if we can play out something while we go on. Yeah. We got it here. We got it here. We got it pulled up. We ready to go. We ready to rock and roll. Okay. You dishonor your forefathers. We all learning, family. Do not reproach a man when he turns from his sin. Remember that we are all liable to punishment. Do not treat a man with disrespect when he is old, for some of us are growing old. Do not exult over a man who is dead. This will put you in this one was tough for me because, man, there's some people you wish was dead, right? But we're talking the balance of things. Do not exult over a man who is dead. Remember that we are all going to die. Do not neglect the discourse of wise men, but busy yourself with their proverbs. Listen to your elders, family. Listen to them. Listen to what they're saying. And that says also wise men. Wise men can be younger as well. Right? For from them you will gain instruction and learn to serve great men. And we know this is not talking about where yes, master. We know that's not what it's talking about. Serving, family, like we serve unto each other, the ministry of reconciliation is where we minister literally one to another. We're serving each other. Again, this is another principle that has been twisted by massa, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about footstool. We're talking about partnership. There's a difference. Do not miss the discourse of old men, for they learned it from their fathers. This includes both negative and positive behavior, by the way. Racist and non-racist people, right? Listen to what they're saying. I know it's hard to, because it strikes a chord. You have control over your emotions. Listen to what they're saying. You learn a lot. You learn a lot, right? Do not miss the discourse. Miss me, right? Miss me with that is what we like to say. Yeah, do not miss the discourse of old men, for they learned it from their fathers. For from them you will gain understanding and learn to return an answer. Yes, in your time of need. Again, I don't know where the preacher went, right? We're going to close out with this, and then we're going to go about our day, family. Thank you for hanging in here. Let's just hear this one time.
But this is why they're trying to erase our history. Because when you understand our history, you know we done been through worse than this. You mean to tell me you can snatch us from the coast of Africa? You can place us in the bottom of ships? You can sail us over waters? Some of us jumped over, some of us stayed in. We didn't know the language. We could land in a place we had never been in before, didn't know each other, didn't know you didn't know us. But then we were able to develop a culture that is envied around the world. We were able to build institutions. We were able to build banks. We were able to build communities. We were able to build churches. We were able to build the White House that man sit in today. He spoke and said, why are you looking for the living amongst the walking dead? Because anytime you can deport a citizen and don't feel nothing, it's because you walking dead. Anytime you can threaten the IRS status of universities because they don't believe what you believe and they let their students exercise their First Amendment right, it's because you walking dead. Anytime you think you can sell Bibles and tennis shoes. Sometimes God has to show up and refresh your expectation. Sometimes you have to tell yourself, this is not over. There is more to life than this. We're going to get past this. We're going to live through this. That this is not the worst that we've seen. That there is still better days. Is there anybody that ever had to talk themselves out of some things because the enemy was trying to make you believe it was over? But what I like about the women is they didn't let their trauma create paralysis. Because you do know the purpose of what is going on today is for the purpose of traumatizing us so that we end up paralyzed. You do know what is happening today is designed to make us so fearful that we won't know what to do. We won't act, we won't speak, we won't gather, we won't celebrate. But I need somebody who in deep East Oakland, not regular East Oakland, deep East Oakland, who know that when you from down here, you're not scared of nothing and nobody. I need a few people to understand that I'm not gonna let anybody from a White House or anybody living in my house to keep me from being a witness on behalf of God. The Bible says.
Now, that's great because, again, shout out to Reverend Dr. Jacqueline Thompson, right, from Oakland, California. Another one of those inner cities, man, where black folks just ain't got it. My, oh my, man. What your Bible says. Some of us have forgotten. It's time to remember, y'all. They threatening you not to do a thing. And again, like we have spoken on before, humanity is waiting on us as people to do a thing. It's time for us to stand together, family. Ain't no time to be shooting down communities no more. Ain't no time to be hurting no communities no more. It's time for those to stand up again. It's okay. It's okay if you're different. It's okay if they look down on you because of it. Stand up in that which you believe in. Stand up in that which you were created in. And walk forward in peace. That word means wholeness and completeness. And let the good God above sort out the rest, family. That's how this works. That's how this works. Family, that's what I got for you today. Thank you for walking this road with me. Again, we went a little long, but it's necessary. Okay. We had to speak on some things here. We will talk to y'all again soon. And as always, and until next time, look to find the beauty in a different view.